Tonight, it's Madden NFL football. It's a special New Year's Eve edition of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Houston Texans taking on the Miami Dolphins.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the Houston Texans. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And leading them out, their signal caller, now in his 4th season in the NFL.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one is capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Throwing to start the drive. Meeks finding his target. It's Trey McBride. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. This defense for the Dolphins, they were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
And I don't know what the actual percentages are, and I don't know the analytics when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches always say, when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%. I haven't seen that number quantified, but I believe them.
No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. From the gun on 3rd down, Meeks, and this is going to be incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Fielded at about the 28. A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. They will be led out by the 6-foot lefty from Alabama. It's Tua Tagovailoa.
And he comes to the end of the season leading the NFL in passing yards. And that's not necessarily something you set out to do at the beginning of the year, but it's a good illustration of how remarkable and consistent he's been all season.
Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle with career touchdown number 157, moving him past Terrell Owens and into a tie with Randy Moss for 4th on the all-time list. And the Dolphins will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Dolphins touchdown. Sanders on for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. And here comes the Texans now. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him, and I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills, and that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills, but they've really increased it in recent seasons because the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender. Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Dolphins take a 3-touchdown lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now 21-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. Out now comes the Houston offense as you take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year. And here's another interception, the third of this first quarter. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. Oh, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ball game.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. So, Charles, for this offense, we've been talking all year about how difficult it would be to run the table. And you gave me your chances early in the year. You thought maybe 25%. A few weeks ago, you thought closer to 50, but not quite 50. Now, here they are, 15-0. This is happening, isn't it?
I think it is, Brandon, because I do believe this team is too invested, too well coached to fall asleep at the switch now. And I think it ultimately benefits them to stay engaged all the way through the season because make it to the finish line, then they get the open week to refresh and re-energize. But if you get off the gas now, that can really hurt you come playoff time.
This is a 2nd and 4, ball at the 9. Now a handoff up the middle. Callahan. And he's going to bowl his way into the end zone for the Dolphins score. A great effort there. His 12th rushing touchdown on the year as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Sanders now to add the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. A drive there of just 4 plays and a 9-yard run on the end of it. So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Out is their quarterback with this offense to take over once more. He was intercepted on that last drive, the 3rd one he's thrown in this first half alone. He'll look to right the ship here, 1st and 10.
Here we go. 60 red. 60 red.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if I'm going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Meeks. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. So, sir.
Oh my God. Ah! You've got to be fucking kidding me. This is bullshit.
A defensive mistake here in the first quarter, getting hit with a roughing the passer call.
And that hurts not just because of the yardage you gave up and give them a fresh set of downs, but that brought the home crowd into this one. And when you go on the road, your job is to silence the crowd, not energize them.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. The numbers on the ground for Pierce last week. 16 carries, 69 yards, and a touchdown.
Definitely productive, including scoring his 14th touchdown of the season last week. It's going to be fun to watch the matchup now because he has a nose for the end zone. So if you're a defender, what's your job? Keep him out.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. To throw on third down. Meeks. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Quay Walker. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Boy, this defense is circling early. A pick 6 there, and they are off to the races here this first quarter.
And, partner, when you get off to a first-quarter lead like this, it really frees you up defensively to take some chances, really apply some heat. And that was just a tremendous play to pick that ball off and bring it back for a score.
So plenty of fireworks here early. 35-0 now as the kick is away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing after the interception. Meeks. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And, look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. The Texans send the punter out as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8, and it'll be Dolphin football. Miami set to take over. But Charles, they're really stringing these possessions and scores together early. We're still in the first quarter, but if they can score again here, look out.
Yeah, and as you taught me when we're broadcasting games, one word we're supposed to avoid, and that's blowout. But that's exactly what's going on here. Down 3 possessions just the first quarter. That goes beyond any worst-case scenario we might have thought coming into this game. And another touchdown here, that should eliminate any hopes for any type of a comeback.
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
2 and now on 1st down. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains, and really it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised if they'll come right back.
Touchdown! A great play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Dolphins have taken a 6-touchdown lead. Sanders on for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. They're still in search of an initial 1st down as they come up here 1st and 10. throwing to start the drive. Meeks firing quickly here, and that's complete. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. To throw on second down. Meeks. And he can't escape, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he's under pressure, and they got to him again. Jerome Baker providing a little deja vu, back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he's able to get it out of there. Taking a couple yards shy of midfield. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. On 1st down, Tagovailoa. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. First carry now for the LSU alum, Ty Davis-Price. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 5, 2nd and 4. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it's stealing it, it's scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Looking to throw. Meeks. Oh, he catches it off the tip. It wasn't even intended for him. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a first down on the play. First and 10, it's Pierce. Taken down at the 42.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Meeks. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. The Texans send the punter out as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return, and they will take over 1st and 10. The Dolphins ready to take over on offense. And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much, do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything. Every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it at them in order to try and get the upset win.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. It's a big play there for Miami. 55 yards. Sometimes the one-handed catches are unnecessary, but he was trying to ward off the defender with the other, so maybe that was just a good play.
So that tells you that not only do they imagine those types of catches, they actually work on them with defenders jostling them in order to keep their concentration and haul it in.
You leave Waddle with him? Are you fucking kidding me? This is a receiver. You see this motherfucker here? 92. That's your job.
The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Here's Davis Price. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
So now, 45, wide, 52 blaster.
On 1st down, Lawton, and he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Dolphins are able to widen their lead here in this 1st half. And always a good 1st half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
45 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
On 1st and 10, Meeks, and that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
On 2nd down, here's Pierce.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
On 3rd down, Meeks. And now here is another interception. Down the numbers. There he goes. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown.
But no surprise to see that one, partner. The league's #1 defense coming through with a huge pick 6. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right.
Sanders now to add the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25.
Dameon Pierce taking the field with the rest of the Texans offense.
And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Couldn't do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. That's pulled in at the 32. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45.
So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Jalen Waddle running out, and that means that the Dolphins ready for another drive on offense.
For him, what an accomplishment in this game, surpassing the 2,000-yard mark. And all the time we talk about these guys out wide like him that are so athletic and can do so many things, but take us a little deeper. How has he done it this year? There he goes left side, and all the way in for a Miami touchdown.
Jalen Waddle
With career touchdown number 158, that pushes him past Randy Moss and into 4th place all time.
And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination.
Now here's a throw that's complete.
It'll go down as a gain of 6.
And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
The Texans send the punter out, standing right on his own 5-yard line. $35 yards that time on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over.
Jalen Waddle, the speedster wide receiver, brings out this offense.
We're in the 2nd quarter. He already has 2 touchdowns. We know how good he is. That's well documented. How do you contain him?
We know he's a nightmare. So in this situation, I would go ahead and double him, maybe even have a 3rd person in the area, and try and dissuade them from throwing him the football. Make someone else beat me for a while.
And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow.
It's a big play there for Miami. 53 yards.
A one-handed catch, that's one thing, but with a defender right there, that was a heck of a play.
It used to be that one-handed catch was instinctive in a game. Now it's a practiced move. They work on it before, after, during practice sessions. It becomes part of their repertoire, and it pays off.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. On the give, this is their fullback. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. It's the fullback with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Dolphins extend their lead yet again. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. Houston's offense taking over again.
And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a 1st down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Now the throw here complete on the right sideline. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. On first down, Meeks. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Derek Brown in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And my goodness, another interception.
Tariq Woolen picks it.
What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete. But the contact is going to move the ball well downfield.
So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the...
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Dolphins just continue to roll.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp.
And now here's another interception. Picked off by Jerome Baker, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown.
I cannot imagine a more perfect half of football for one side, CD, and a more disastrous half of football for another side. But if you focus on the positive half, with this pick 6, you look at where that lead is at, and to think that we are only in the second quarter, my goodness.
I love the expression. My goodness, indeed. Pretty obvious. It's a free fall out there. Everybody gets a chance to make a play. And if you're on the field, you've got a great chance of being the next guy that your teammates are celebrating.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Houston set to take over.
And in a spot like this, still more than a minute, I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to the psychology of the game at times, isn't there? How much better would they feel running into the locker room, as you noted, with something on the board in a positive fashion? You're exactly right. It's a great opportunity to get that done.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Meeks. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. On On third down, Tompkins. And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The Texans send the punter out as he's on to kick it away. He'll look to set up his blockers. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 13 yards the tally on the return there. The Dolphins taking over now late in this first half. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here.
Drill 52. Blue strike. Ultra. Go ultra. Hey, red. Ready.
Tua now on first down. And a quick throw here that's complete. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Looking to pass. Tua. Past the 20. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room.
Go now. Black. 95. 10 cycle.
Second down, here's Davis Price. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has a... All right, we'll bypass the halftime show.
Why do you let him be the guy that takes off? Why don't you make him the guy that takes off? Everybody's too fucking anxious. I don't even have the fucking ball yet. And they're all running off. Don't even have the fucking ball yet. And they're running off. Look. Doesn't even have the fucking ball. And they're running off.
Favor of returning to this late season game with the teams coming back from the locker rooms here a bit early. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And the half will begin with a touchback. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Drive starts with a run by Davis Price.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
5, 97.
Up the middle they go.
Lawton. And he'll have a Dolphins first down as the tackle made at about the 38.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
This is Benjamin. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield.
That one good for 13 and a Dolphin 1st down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Set hut, 53.
Watch the curve. Choose the bike. Switch.
Hut, go.
On the counter, Davis Price.
They find some open field here. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
Come on, set. Yellow, 22. Sharp, 17.
Watch two.
Let's go. Hut.
On the ground, Benjamin.
He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
Here we go. Red, 38.
Mike two. Focus, defense,
Set, go.
On 2nd down now, Lawton, and he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
That's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and that's a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
Watch out now. 50 feet. Ready.
And now he spiked it on 3rd down. I don't know if he heard a whistle. There was no whistle. He just got up and spiked it.
Let's go. Black 40. Set hut.
They've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. And he's brought down, but following a pretty juke move that gives him the 1st down. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here, 1st and 10.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
And the Dolphins are going to have a 1st and goal as he's able to take this inside the 10 to the 8.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield. Picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal.
They run it with Benjamin.
And he's going to bowl his way into the end zone for the Dolphins score. Taking it in from a yard out.
And the Dolphins take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the 2nd half.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down.
Off the bootleg. Meeks steps away. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now. And if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease. And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. And that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And it's fielded at the 34. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially.
Dolphins offense returning to the field. The football changing hands here, and as this offense takes the field, Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage, while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory.
70 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
2nd down, and again it's Davis Price.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On the run is Benjamin.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Davis Price up the middle.
And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
On 3rd down, here's Davis Price. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone.
18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They run the counter. Lawton. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
Give every member of that unit a ton of credit for ripping off such a big gain there, because you don't get free for that many yards on a counter or misdirection without everybody selling the heck out of it.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now a handoff up the middle. Callahan, and he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A great effort there, with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game.
And the Dolphins are pouring it on.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25.
The Texans getting set here to take over again on offense. But the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Meeks, but it's caught. Tompkins. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
And my goodness, another interception.
Tariq Woolen picks it, and the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football.
Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double checking it, but the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard and they never get out of it, and that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Davis Price on 1st and 10. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone.
The Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night.
This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
They'll run on 1st down. Lawton. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Taking it in from the 20.
And the Dolphins are closing in on that 16-0 record as they add on to their lead. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
Facing a big fourth-quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Back to throw. Meeks. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Brown. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Meeks. Buying time, and this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety.
Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. So now here come the Dolphins.
And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth-quarter lead.
Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Drive begins with a carry by Davis Price.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first. Down run, he gets maybe 3.
Second down, and again it's Davis Price.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield.
116 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On 3rd down, Benjamin. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. On 1st down, Lawton, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
And some room to roam now. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
They just look like they're having fun out there. Big lead. There's another big play on the big run. I mean, they can't be stopped.
I'm a little bit older than you, as you well know, partner, and you tend to tell me that all the time. But there used to be a big-time song, and the lyric was, "Summertime and the living is easy." Right now, it's football time, and the running is easy for this crew.
They'll run on 1st down. Lawton, and they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. And not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. They'll run with Davis Price.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown.
Ty Davis Price
with touchdown number 20 on the year.
And the Dolphins continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. And now out comes Houston. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. Throwing on first down. Meeks. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack.
Well, it's obvious, but I can't help but say it here. It's never a good day when the opposing defense has more sacks than you have points. The win seems likely, but this defense is still playing for something here. They see that 0 on the scoreboard, and they don't want that to change.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
And this pass broken up. But the contact well timed there, and now fourth down.
The Texans send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away.
A nice punt, but a good run back as well of 13 yards.
And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive.
And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now.
Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
135 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball.
Is he out here? He is.
They can't score.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Give to Davis Price up the middle here.
And he's going to be close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Texans' 15-yard line. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And first and goal is what it will be at the 6-yard line. Excellent field position.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the fourth quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. On first down, Lawton. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. Defensively, they must have been expecting a pass. They were in the dime look out there.
I think maybe they were deciding to go with speed on the field rather than bulk. I'm with you, a little bit surprising. They wanted people getting to the ball as fast as...
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Another touchdown here in the fourth quarter, and Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball, and sometimes even your special teams, and that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
From the gun on 3rd down, Meeks. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Pulled in at the 24.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They run the counter. Lawton, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll keep it on the ground. Lawton. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. Up the middle they go. Lawton. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Callahan. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. And they're going to speed things up here. Right back to him on 1st down.
And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40.
11 more on that one and another 1st down. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over.
For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed to sleep.
So for the Dolphins,
they're a win away now from running the table here in the regular season. They moved to 16-0 on the year.
So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.